On night 2 of WrestleMania 41, there's a Sin City street fight. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line. So is the Intercontinental Championship, the Women's World Championship, and the undisputed WWE Championship. These are my predictions for WrestleMania 41 Sunday. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jason C. McLean. I'm recording this Sunday evening. It's about 10:30 p.m., April 13th, so I have seen SmackDown. Thank you very much to WWE for announcing which matches are on which night. Content creators who want to release 2 different prediction videos like me appreciate it. I'm sure we're not the reasons you did it, but still, it's appreciated. Thank you very much. Now, I haven't seen the Go Home Raw, that's tomorrow night, or the Go Home SmackDown. It's possible things happen on those shows that affect my predictions. I will note specifically where I think those predictions might be affected, and I reserve the right to either give another video with addendums to the predictions or just not be wrong. That said, let's get started with Randy Orton. Now, officially at this point, Randy Orton doesn't have a match on WrestleMania. Sadly, Kevin Owens had to back out for health reasons. I think, and a lot of people think, he will have a match. And looking at the card, night 1 has 7 scheduled matches. Night 2 only has 6. So logically, if there's a place to put a Randy Orton match, it would be on night 2. I do think we're going to get a Randy Orton match. Against who? Well, I still think Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager, who was a former NWA champion a couple of years before he joined WWE. He can go. And they kind of set it up with the second RKO that Randy Orton owed him, that Randy Orton had paid for. That's an interesting story. It might be Solo Sikoa. They sort of set that up on SmackDown, the last one I saw. But, you know, they already did Solo and KO versus Solo. They did Randy and KO versus Solo and I think Tama Tonga. So they've already done that match. They also did a tag team match with LA Knight. So I don't think it's going to be Solo. People have speculated Malachi Black returning, Rusev returning. Could be those. Could be somebody where no one's thinking about, but I still think it's going to be Nick Aldis. And I think Aldis is going to put on a good show. Might not be that long a match, but Randy Orton is going to win. Now on to the presently announced card. We have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm sure this match will be wild, fun to watch, but of all the matches on the card, honestly, it's the one I'm the least interested in. If it had been Logan versus CM Punk or Logan versus Cena, as I had kind of thought we were going to get, it would have been more interesting. I predict AJ Styles is going to win. Logan's going to try and cheat. Why? Logan won his last match at WrestleMania, the triple threat for the United States Championship, and AJ Styles lost his last match at WrestleMania, so maybe give AJ the victory here. I think AJ's almost done. This might be his retirement year in WWE, so a good way to kick that off would be with a victory over Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I project AJ Styles is going to win. In a Sin City street fight, we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Now, Sin City street fight. Does that mean there's going to be poker chips thrown at people? And maybe, Drew's going to try and shove the poker chips down Damian's throat, something like that. It's going to be wild. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be funny. Honestly, I was not that interested in this feud, but they've got me interested in it. There's a real storyline here. Damian was the one who benefited from essentially Drew screwing himself over via CM Punk several times. And these are both top-notch performers. They can go. It'd be funny if there was like a craps table or roulette. Somebody hits somebody with a roulette wheel. I'm not sure how heavy those things are. I'm sure they could gimmick one. This might low-key be a banger. It might be one of the more interesting matches on the card. Kind of came out of nowhere. As for who's going to win, I'm going to have to go with Drew because he hasn't been winning that well lately, and you want to kind of keep him in the main event picture. And I think Damian can recover and still go for a championship after this. I think it's going to be really fun to watch, and I'm predicting Drew wins. For the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, the champions Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend against challengers, the Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. I think this match was essentially booked to give Liv Morgan, who's had an incredible year, deserves to be on the card, a chance to be on the card, and to give Bayley, who was a champion, a chance to be on the card as well too. Also, she's Bayley. I announced Lyra first when I was announcing the match because she's a champion, and it is kind of unfortunate that the Women's Intercontinental Championship is not being defended on WrestleMania. Also a shame that the Women's United States Championship is not being defended, though there is that match. If it doesn't go to Randy Orton, maybe Chelsea could have a match against Zelina Vega. I don't know. As far as before I get into who's going to win, I think this is going to be a hell of a match. These are all top-notch performers. This is going to be a real fight. I was thinking that it would be really cool if there was a double champion, Lyra Valkyria, holding the Tag Team Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. That would create some great storylines with Bayley, maybe a jealousy thing going forward. Maybe a Bayley heel turn. She gets back with Damage Control. That could be interesting. But I think it would be way more interesting if that happened on the other side. People have already compared Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to Shawn Michaels and Diesel, with Raquel playing the Diesel role, the heavy, and Liv, the big scene stealer. So if they did something where Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan retained, possibly by cheating. Dom's already got a match on that night. Maybe he'll come in. I don't know. But it's a hell of a match. They retain by cheating. And then at some point, maybe the Raw after Mania or some point after that, Liv challenges Lyra and wins the Intercontinental Championship. And then they could actually create some jealousy in that team. I think that's a much more interesting story. So therefore, I think after one hell of a match, I wouldn't be upset if Bayley and Lyra won, but I'm pretty sure my prediction, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez retain the Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. For the Intercontinental Championship, the champion Braun Breaker defends against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a fatal 4-way match. Now, initially, I was a little skeptical of this match being announced, specifically because I thought they were going to also do a fatal 4-way for the United States Championship, but they didn't, so I'm actually quite happy with this match. I'm going to go out on a limb with my prediction here. I predict that Dirty Dominic Mysterio is going to walk away from WrestleMania 41, the Intercontinental Champion. Now, before you at me, okay, hear me out. Here's how it's going to happen. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be a cheap victory, as cheap as they come. Breaker might spear Balor, and then somehow him and Penta go fight off into the crowd, and then maybe like Liv or someone does something really dirty to Balor to keep him down, and Dom sneaks in, looks around, and pins Finn Balor. Now, obviously, that means Finn is going to break away from Judgment Day. Maybe they're going to bring in a new member. Maybe they'll bring JD back. I don't know. But I think we can do Dom as champion. He actually might have a long reign, a Honky Tonk Man style reign. The Honky Tonk Man, when he was IC champion, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, he still says he's the greatest until Gunther beat his record. Most of his title defenses ended in countout, double countout, or disqualification where he got disqualified. He's probably not going to get that many victories, but he's probably going to hold on to the title for a long time. I think they can do that, and I think this is the only circumstance where Dominic Mysterio can really cheaply win the Intercontinental Championship. So Dominic Mysterio winning this Fatal 4-Way is my prediction. For the Women's World Championship, the champion Io Sky defends against challengers Bianca Belair, the Elimination Chamber winner, and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. Now, as we all know, the build to this match has not been the best. They should have announced the triple threat match months ago, or a month ago, or a few weeks ago. They shouldn't have dragged it out this long. But we're here, and I think this is going to open up night 2 or Sunday, and I think this is going to be a total banger. I think everyone thinks this is going to be a total banger. Get it in the ring, it's going to rock. It's going to be incredible. Now, who's going to win? Because this is a prediction video. Okay, there's a few scenarios I've sort of gamed out. One is Io Sky, considering how she's been shoved aside the whole time, she retains, which I don't think anyone's thinking is going to happen. That could be a fun sort of babyface like way for her to win, but I don't think that's going to be the case. There's the one that everyone wants, which is Rhea Ripley winning. I mean, at some point she's going to be champion again. She is by far the most over, but I think it's going to be Bianca Belair. Be a hell of a match, and I don't think she's going to do anything particularly heelish in this match, except maybe in the end. Because the reason I think Bianca is going to win is because I'm thinking of the future beyond WrestleMania. I think she's shortly after this going to turn heel, and maybe with the whole Jade situation, maybe she's going to say, you know what, Naomi was right, or something like that, and we're going to get Bianca and Jade Cargill for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam. And that doesn't happen if Bianca doesn't win it here, I don't think. I am honestly a little shaky on this prediction, but yeah, I'm going to lock it in. Bianca Belair walks out of WrestleMania the Women's World Champion. In the Sunday night main event, the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, defends against challenger and Elimination Chamber winner John Cena. If you watch my other videos, you know that I thought John Cena was going to win the championship at some point this year, was going to beat Flair's record, but I didn't think that was going to be at WrestleMania. I didn't think he'd be going for it at WrestleMania, and I thought he would stay a babyface. But nope, we have heel Cena right now, so I'm just wondering, what do you do with Cena if he doesn't win? I think his story, as it's perhaps changed or as it's being projected right now, almost necessitates a victory at WrestleMania. If he wins at WrestleMania, he could obviously lose it to Cody at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, lose it back to Cody. And that could be as a babyface. Maybe he turns babyface in the match, and that is his passing the torch moment. And also, if he wins at WrestleMania, I know he said he's going to go home with the championship. He could go home with the current version of the championship and bring back the spinner belt to really piss everyone off. Now, caveat here, if The Rock comes out for Cena and Stone Cold comes out for Cody, my prediction might change, but I can't change it based on a night of things. So even though I've predicted a lot of heel victories on night 2, I have to predict John Cena is going to walk out of WrestleMania the undisputed WWE champion, possibly with help from The Rock. And I know like there's a lot of heel victories on night 2, but if you look at it like this, we start off with Gunther versus Jey Uso on night 1, and Jey Uso wins. We start off WrestleMania with a big celebration, and we end it with a downer. And these are my predictions for WrestleMania 41 Sunday. Do you agree with my predictions? Do you have your alternate predictions? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. And also on Blue Sky, jasoncmclean.bsky.social. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Now, I'm going to enjoy this show. I might be cheering for people that I haven't predicted, but that's normal. Here on this platform, I'm telling you what I think is going to happen, but I'm also telling you what I want to happen. We'll see how it plays out. For Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.